So you want to build your motorsport dream,
but you're broke.
so you scroll on your phone, dreaming of your next build. Everywhere on social media, you see fast-built cars, big-ass shops, people building these things to perfection. So you subconsciously wonder, how did they do it? I wanted to find out.
So I talked to some professional racers and drifters to hear their story.
Let's start with what seems like the basics. Acquiring a real shop space. How do you get a shop like this?
Yeah, just start looking Facebook, Craigslist all the time until it does show up. Los Angeles was tough. It took me like 8 or 9 months worth of looking on Craigslist daily until something came up. I would say the Pacific Northwest, it's a lot easier to find a shop space like this. It doesn't have to be huge to start. My first shop was like a little 2-car garage. I had enough room for this on one side and my tools on the other side, and that was it. A lot of homes will have something like this for like storing boats or RVs or something, and their owner will want to rent it out.
Could like something like this be done from your someone's like driveway, like a gravel driveway, or?
It depends.
Pretty key part, I'm guessing.
For me, it is. Yeah. That's kind of the thing about racing, though, is it's such an expansive world. For a lot of people, they need a shop because they're building their race cars. And some forms of racing, you have to be very mechanically inclined. So like drifting is like that. Time attack stuff is like that. Drag racing is like that. If you are just wanting to be a driver, you can pay another team to get into it. So you could buy your way in and never have to turn a wrench ever.
A lot of people can just buy their way into it, buy their way into it, buy their way into it.
If you can't buy your way into it, what do? Calvin knows the reality of what you need to commit to be successful.
Calvin is a professional race car driver from the Pacific Northwest, and this is our assistant teacher, Luke. So Calvin, when you go to the racetrack, how do you afford that? How do you afford that type of endeavor?
Well, it's definitely a bit expensive. I have to work pretty hard. It's all self-funded, not sponsored by anyone who's actually giving us any money. So it's pretty much, I just bust tables so I can pay for parts.
My next question for you here is, how did you achieve the skills to work on cars? Obviously, this is your car right here. He built this car, he painted this car, he did everything to this car.
I pretty much learned everything from my dad because he was always in the cars when I was a kid. And, when I was like 15, we saw this and we got it and just started tinkering with it over quarantine. And now I pretty much have learned everything I know off of it, so I can use those skills anywhere.
That's great. Yeah, and obviously we're in a shop class here right now. Did you learn anything from this shop class?
Mostly this shop was good for me just so I could use all the equipment that I need, because a lot of the stuff I don't have at my house. We've got lifts and alignment racks, so yeah, I mean, I definitely have had help from the teachers and learned a couple things. If you're into cars, you have to take auto shop. Just the equipment is totally worth it, and the friends you can make here have some good connections.
Very good idea to just go to a racetrack, introduce yourself, talk to the teams. Many teams, if you just go and you say, hey, can I pit for you guys? Do you guys need a hand with anything? They will say yes. You know, I'll bet this Chevelle that any team, if you're presentable and you're well-spoken and you say, can I help you with anything? They'll say yes. Racing is very difficult. It takes a big infrastructure, and even if you don't know anything about cars, if you can go to a part store and grab 10 cans of brake cleaner, if you can go get pizza for the team, there's so much stuff that you can do. Straighten the tools up, there's so much stuff that you can do. And if you get in with a team and you keep doing stuff like that, they'll want to help you. Yeah, they'll want to help you. It's a very good zero risk, no cost of entry way to start learning if it's a good fit for you.
Do you think you're addicted to cars? You think that's someone has to be successful?
I don't know if you have to be addicted to be successful. A lot of people can just buy their way into it, but
that's true.
I think people who are really gonna be fulfilled by motorsport are people who are addicted to cars like this.
I don't know if you have to be addicted to it, but I also don't know anyone who's not.
Exactly, yeah. Because you can't just like cars, it's either it's full on or...
Yeah, I mean, it's not casual.
Yeah, especially if you're at it at this level too.
Right. It takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of dedication.
What do you think the most important qualities and habits someone should have if they want to succeed in motorsport?
I would say determination. Yeah, determination and consistency, because it can be tough. There's the highs are highs and the lows are lows, and if you can't withstand the lows in the motorsports world, then you don't deserve the highs. There's lots of setbacks, and that's that's part of that. That's the part of it.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Anybody can build a car for the street, but when you're building a race car, the many hours that you spend working on that car, you know, fitting the body panels or wrapping it or making it look good or making it fast or whatever, you have to understand that within a second, that, you know, 3, 5, whatever years that you spent can just be taken away from you like this. So you have to be dedicated. You have to understand that there's going to be tough times, and you have to just get used to it and learn how to take it in stride and keep moving forward.